Hello, dear supporters of our channel. I'm happy to start the journey of our discussions with one of the main important people who have been contributed a lot in football industry. For the first topic, which is coach's journey, considering that me, I'm a coach, he is a coach, and there is a lot of coaches out there that they're trying to get uh, a job and they have a lot of questions in their career and they want to learn from the best. I decided to bring with me Coach Amir Alagic, who has been contributed a lot in the football industry as a technical director, as a coach, as an analyst, as a specialist in football within the local level and also internationally in different continents around the world, uh, coaching from the top teams, let's say in Europe, all the way to other continents, contributing and trying to change the mentality and to progress in football. The word is for you, my dear.
Uh, Thank you very much, Xhunejd. Very glad to be with you tonight and with your followers. So hopefully that they will have an enjoyable time.
For sure. Yes, they will have an enjoyable time and they will get great advices, hopefully. Dear, as we already mentioned to our followers, coaching journey, is is actually a journey because there is a lot of things happening, from when we start our coaching career. I would like to start basically starting with you, considering that you have been in different levels from Werder Bremen in Bundesliga, coaching from top players like Diego and Miroslav Klose, from the best players all the way now. What would you say, considering also you're a great mentor, what would you say? What are some of the steps that a coach should follow to become a pro coach in terms of pathway, starting from the bottom, someone who just likes coaching, is passionate about it, but he just started right now. What would you say might be some of the steps according to your opinion?
But look, coaching itself is really the profession about journey and about passion, about precision. So it's an individual thing. At the end of the day, every of us has another destiny, level of passion, ambitions. So it's so many factors today, especially in this multipolar world today. But basically, to be professional, we can sum up in a few points. I suggest start from the bottom. Doesn't matter who you are, how you go, are you a professional player or something like that. Coaching world is a totally different. As a player, you are dealing with one person. It's you. But as a coach, you are dealing with 25, sometimes even more people, plus coaching staff, plus management, plus all other stakeholders. So it's not easy. So that's why I always suggesting to the young coaches, start from number one, start from grassroots, because that will give you easy entrance to the professional world. You will go from the bottom and start say like that, start to be humble, to understand the psychology of the people. It's no matter better than young boys or young girls, okay? And of course, coaching grassroots at the early stage, you don't have a pressure. Pressure is a killer today. You see, 2-3 weeks, you don't have results as a professional coach, you might be out, not just for that particular season, you might be out for life, especially if you're a young coach. So I always suggest, number one, go to the grassroots. Then, of course, you have, for instance, you play football, you have experience as a player, okay? But as I said, it's totally different. So another step is earn some coaching licenses. You have so many coaching licenses today online at the federation, etc. So you start easy with the youth coaching licenses and climb up to the Uefa Pro or equivalent, of other confederations. So that's another step that I suggest. The third is develop your coaching philosophy. Most of us, as we played football and we were former professional players, we almost have that in our veins, in our blood. So, for example, if you are asking me personally, I raised respecting and growing up with the total football, because in my time, mid 70s and onwards, total football was presented first in a Dutch national team, and then the others. My idol was and remained the great Johan Cruyff. So I learned a lot from him. You know, I saw how he's playing, how he's behaving, and I adapted the style of play, which follows through my career. Even today, of course, it's with some adjustments and some other things, but core of my coaching philosophy is total football. So I suggest my young fellow coaches to have a philosophy, how you want to play football. Of course, you are not me, I'm not you. So if I go with the total football, the others go with the possession football, and the other coaching styles. So it's totally dependable of the individual coach, plus of course the environment or club where you work for. If you have a luck to work at the Real Madrid, obviously you can present easily your philosophy. If you work in some other smaller clubs, in smaller leagues, of course you have to rely on the players you already have, plus budget available of the club. But this is the way how it goes. So remind you one more time, we start with the grassroots. This is the best healthy option for the young coaches. Go for the licenses, have a philosophy, okay? The next is master your tactical knowledge plus session design. So once you have a philosophy, you need to have a tactical understanding of that philosophy. If you have tactical understanding of that philosophy, okay, you need to create the drills, to exercises to support your tactical approach based on your philosophy. That's very normal, because everything you do in a training session must be a reflection from your philosophy and your tactical approach. Otherwise, if you do something else, your players will be confused, and no wonder that you are going to lose your games, and just around the court is your possible sacking. So that's very, very important. Many people forgetting that. I just go to the football field, okay, give some exercise to the players. When they come to the game, they have no idea, because 11 people must think as one in football. That's very important. We all know that, but many coaches, believe me, just forgetting that. Okay, so the next one is expand your horizons. As I told you, I'm total football fan. How I expand my horizons? So I said that I started with Johan Cruyff, okay? And then, of course, how that progressing football, you know, Xhunejd, it's a change in the last 5 years more than in the last 30 years. So we have to understand and be adaptable. How you can expand? You can expand educating yourself all the time. See the trends from the world football. See your philosophy and try to adjust. Maybe it's okay, it's still okay, total football, but maybe in the midfield is something else, or your league is not like that, you know. So, or your fans are not like that. So, you know, you have to always be the student of the game. You know, the learning never stops. Then build a track record. So every season. Recently, I was a head coach of Sri Lanka national team. So I give 4 years plan to the federation. Every year, I'm making a record how we progress based on the playing stuff, based on our game model, based on our financial issues, based on expectations, objectives, fans, the other stakeholders, where we are. I had a luck, a really good generation, put some additional overseas players in, and we took and won a few places on a FIFA ranking after almost 30 years. So it means that that record, that season is okay. But nevertheless, next season should be 10 to 20% more. First, that you keep your place as a head coach, okay? That's very important personally. And second, to make your employer happy because you are progressing. Without these records, you have no idea how it's going, who you are going to sell as a player, who you will bring. Is it okay, your coaching staff? Maybe I need additional. Maybe I'm not happy with somebody, or maybe they are not happy with me. So everything must be recorded. Based on recording and these notes, then you start to adjust, adapt, and put a little bit more in. This is very important. So you see how it's gradually going these things.
Yeah.
Then, of course, sorry, he's listening though, so I put something here, in order not to forget, because it's a very important question.
Sure.
Of course, next is a network in your football ecosystem. So I know you know me. I know guys from Japan, from United States, etc. Worldwide. After 30 years of coaching, I have a huge network. Anything else? You have to have a network everywhere of reliable people that you can trust in terms of the players, in terms of the fellow coaches, agents, managers, presidents, etc., etc. Sponsors as well, very important. Sometimes you get a job because you have sponsors to fill in, to bring money to your future club or federation. Of course, then you easily get a job, and this is also start to be normal in the world of football. That's why it's so competitive. Your CV is not the only one that stands out from the crowd and gives you a chance to get the job. No, not at all. But that's another story. And then, of course, as I told you, stay adaptable, because maybe you won 3-4 games. Next game you come, maybe it's bottom club, maybe you lose, like happened Liverpool last season against Nottingham Forest. That was the start of the season. Nottingham was just the bottom, and they lost an Anfield after 17 matches from underdog. So when you are winning, you have to be more conscious. You have to be more down. You have to rely more on the bench. It means you are evolving, So stay adaptable and evolve. While you are staying adaptable, you see how it's changing your surrounding, your environment, okay? And evolve means go up, don't go down. Don't say, okay, we are winning, I'm the guy, I'm the coach, I'm this and that, which younger coaches also fail, and many starting well, then, egos, all kind of things. No. When you're winning, go double down. This is my experience. So you stay calm, because maybe you have another 26, 30 matches to the end of the season. So that's very, very important. Sure. This is practically in summarizing, the pathway that the young coaches, my experience, always listen experience, okay, no theory, should go through the process to become the pro. In Europe, we say 1 of 3,000 kids become professional. In Europe as well, 1 of 100 coaches become professional. So it's a huge, huge challenge.
Well, dear, I'm very, very happy to listen to this advice. This goes to me as well. Very detailed oriented advice, and very, very precious. I would like to add something else. What do you think about mentorship? Because I know by myself, when I stopped playing football, I think one of the most important parts is also choosing the right mentor. For example, I would say, if I had the opportunity to meet a person like you when I was, since in the beginning of my career, game changer. I would not go left and right and left and right. And then if I know from the beginning, I have to have my own philosophy, I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like you said, things will be much different. You agree with that, right?
More than agree. 2 reasons. I'm now older. So means that I know when I started, I didn't have that opportunity, to be honest. So it's very tough that you find out about the truth going through the difficulties.
You're right.
It's very shocking for the young coach, because you are making mistakes. You are not even aware of that. You have no idea that they exist, because you don't know.
You're right.
It's totally different. When I started coaching 30 years and today you have everything online, Google, artificial intelligence, etc. When I started, we didn't have such opportunity, So it was very difficult. 2 years ago, Xhunejd, I became Uefa Pro mentor for the professional coaches. So theoretically, I can mentor Klopp, Guardiola, etc. So theoretically, because I have that license. What does it mean? When you have a young coach, prospects, okay, then you have a mentor. It's no wonder if you see Manchester City from last season, Pep Guardiola sitting as a head coach, okay? Who was on his bench? It was Lilo, who is older than him, 15 years. The guy who is mentoring him, who is supporting him, is counseling him, you know. Of course, Guardiola makes a final word, but he has a experienced staff there. And no wonder in 7 years, only Liverpool took the title from Manchester City. They won everything in England because, you know, he was humble. Guardiola was down. He's a hardworking guy with ideas, but all ideas doesn't mean necessarily success. So he equipped himself with the experienced coaches, not to tell him what to do, but how to do.
You are right.
You understand?
Right. For sure.
But next season, Guardiola took more freedom from himself, and what happened?
Yeah.
The worst season that they have. So in football, especially in the professional football, every year is a more harder and harder. Now Liverpool was the champion. You see, 5-6 club give more money in transfer window than Liverpool, for example, etc. So it will be very difficult. So if Slot, current head coach, is not enriching his coaching staff with the experienced coaches, all these lads are very, very young, okay? Except his first assistant. He might have a problem because, you know, professional football at the top level, you see now your experience, even that in Saudi Arabia, coming to the details. So details 10 years ago haven't been set pieces, right? Now they are very important. 30% of the goals scoring after set pieces. So I have a coach for them. Then I need a development coach. Why? I don't need the players if I have a good coach who will develop my bench. Why I'm spending the money?
Yes.
I have a bench. They are not there because of filling the list. They are there because I chose them. So these are young lads, okay, who have a potential, but something lacking him. Experience, left foot, tactical understanding, versatility in positional play, okay, sustainable control when they have a ball, etc., etc., etc. So if you have such a coach, and I was doing that during my time at Werder Bremen, okay, development technical coach, then you will have a very good squad because your job as a head coach is to carry on with the good results. Your staff job is not to sit on the bench. They have to put this bench up. This is their major stuff, not to be with the head, good, nice, let's hug after the goal. No.
Oh, yes.
You have to go there, give you a break, you go home, think about tactics, your head coach. My job with the other guys and the high performance center is to bring these young players from the bench up. And then you don't have a problem. This exactly happened, you see, with Paris Saint-Germain. Let's see wonder. They are the champions of Europe. My God, they kick Neymar, they kick Messi. Mamma mia, they kick Mbappe. Hey, you are crazy, coach. Hey, what are you doing? I know exactly what I'm doing. He brought the younger people. Bring in, maybe you know that, 5 staff from last season. Now he has 9, had the 4 before. And look what they did. Exactly this Doué and Dembele was the worst last season. Look at him now. 150 million transfer market value. So this is very important, you know, and I cannot express more, Xhunejd, importance of having a mentor for the young coaches who has idea. Xavi Alonso, now Real Madrid, great idea, no wonder. But you see World Cup now in the USA struggling because only him. Come on, baby. Bring some people who are experienced, not to teach you, but to tell you how. It's very important. Then you will save your life, fans happy, and money comes in. Otherwise, you won't last long.
For sure. It's not individual work, you know. It's a group work.
No.
Here, I want you to shift. I want you to shift in regards to coaches focusing too much in theory and they lack their practical skills. I think this is like a phenomenon in the modern times, and also them believing that this modern era we know everything, and the ones who are in the past they are old fashioned and they kick them out in terms of not trying to benefit from them. They think only like De Zerbi or Arteta or these coaches that have popped up in the last 3 4 seasons. They are the best coaches example to follow. What do you think with that? What's your
Look,
feedback?
in football, especially when you're talking to me, it's very easy. You see, I'm giving you straight answers. You know why? It's not from my head. It's from experience.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what you're asking me, it's very logical. If I'm young, how I can rely on experience? I have to rely on theory, right? You agree
yes,
with me?
yeah. You're right.
How I can rely on experience? I have 2, maybe 3 years of coaching experience, this close to zero. So I have to rely on theory.
Yeah,
I have my philosophy, how to play, and theory. Second, very important, you know maybe answer, but I will remind you.
yeah.
If I'm young coach and people see that I'm bringing all the coaches, it might be a problem for me because, at the end of the day, they think that I don't know. And maybe that old coach will be offered my job after sacking me. We are all
Conflict,
humans.
conflict of interest. Yes, it has happened. Yeah.
You agree
Logical.
with me? We are all humans. Look, we are not a Statue of Liberty in New York. We
Yeah,
all live. We all have a family. God, I want to keep my job. Especially, look, now I'm always quoting a big step for him in his career. Forget Bundesliga, now in Real Madrid, Xavi. You understand?
I
It's
agree.
a big step for him. He wants to keep the job. He rejected Liverpool last season, remember, waiting because he knew that Ancelotti will go after this season.
Yeah.
Now he's in charge, okay?
Well,
But whether
yeah,
he can handle Real Madrid, this is very problematical question. Trust me. Very, very
for sure,
problematical
for
question.
sure, for sure.
And look at his stuff there. All young guys. If you
All under
other
him,
guys are young,
under him.
they are following his philosophy. Okay, let him say. I will say yes. Okay, good, great, nice. Juni, yeah, you're the best. Five
Pampering him,
five
and
rounds.
for sure. This
Five
is
rounds. Bye
politics,
bye.
It's politics. People fall.
I
I
know. So
100% agree with you.
what
In the
I
whole
what
line
I
of danger.
try to bring in to your table to this discussion is not just blah 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 answers. I want
No, for
also
sure, I agree
many
with you.
people listening us want to get something
They
smart to
will. They will
educate
benefit for
themselves.
sure. They will benefit a
Yeah,
lot.
you go to the education today, right? You
Yeah,
have to pay.
for sure.
But your conversation, okay, that's why I took a part and accepted your invitation because I want to share also my knowledge to younger coaches or
Contributing for
somebody
sure,
who
for
wants to
sure.
listen.
And that's why,
Because
you are the first one that I chose. Considering that you are a great mentor, you are the first one that I chose to open
so
my channel with.
so this question is a little bit tricky, this one. Let the people do what they want to do. I know, and I will suggest that I'm young, and with this brain, I will pay somebody to be my mentor.
For sure, for sure.
So when I look, for example, I was in Sri Lanka also the technical director. I had a great opportunity, unbelievable opportunity to work almost 2 years with Mr. Arsene Wenger and his group. Because, he gave so many tips. He gave so many advices. Each of his word is the statement and the legacy. So I couldn't make it, always my phone was open, to record what he's saying, even when he's laughing. Unbelievable guy, one of the greats ever in the history. So when you are listening to him, and I learned a lot as a technical director, honestly, during these almost 2 years, apart that I took the FIFA certificate for technical directors. So I urge the people to bring somebody to help them out because, you are watching the game, but there are so many details. Your eye cannot cover all the field. And today you see the theory and the practice say, when you take from transition the ball win in your third, you have a 5 to 6, 7 seconds in transition to finish and score the goal. If not, bye-bye. Go switch the ball around and keep possession. This is that. How you can on earth see the whole field, how they are doing. You see who won the ball, but you don't know the runners. If you go there, you have no idea what happened there. But if you have a attacking coach, you have a defending coach, you have a transition coach, okay, a set piece coach, they are covering all field for you, plus the strength and conditioning coach sitting behind you on the bench and telling you who is tired, how it goes with the energy systems of the players, etc. So this is what I introduced in Sri Lanka and helped me a lot, honestly, that we clean up and play good football, So your question is fantastic. Of course, everybody should have a mentor, especially if you are younger than 40 years of age, even later, because everything is opening. Every year is different and harder, but it's totally individual question, as I told you.
100%. I totally agree with you, dear, and your feedback was very helpful. Now, I would like to shift more in terms of your career, considering that, you have large experience. In the past, you have been a coach in Werder Bremen, an elite team who was competing in the German Bundesliga and other competitions. Working with coach Thomas Schaff, one of the most well-known coaches working in Bundesliga, was a great experience for you. We all know that. What are some of the secrets you may share on having a great team discipline and maintaining a balance between superstars, like Diego, Klose, and other regular players?
Yeah, it's a good question and in good timing.
Yes.
Xhunejd, you know why? Under the contract I had with Werder Bremen, I was forbidden, not only me, everybody employed that was professional football, not to discover any secrets from Werder Bremen 10 years after my contract finish. Publicly, no.
Yes.
So interviews, TVs, whatever, no. Because, this is something like cooking.
Yes.
So a good cook, you'll never say how much salt or pepper they put in the dish, to be.
Sure,
this is their secret. That's why it's famous for, right?
For sure.
So, but my contract 10 years expired in 2017. So now I'm free to say that because, of course, they have totally another story now and etc. Okay. So I can be just proud and honored that I was during the best era, the golden era, so-called, of Werder Bremen in their history. Because during Thomas Schaff era, from 99 to 12-13, these 14 years, they were 3 times Bundesliga champions and 5 times Bundesliga Pokalsieger, which is cup winner. Every year contributed in Champions League, twice came to the semi-final. Once they accidentally lost in semi-final, and if you remember, where for the Europa League against this club from Turkey, Galatasaray, they lost in the final accidentally. Was very tough time, and they have a few injured players because of the final anyway, but was a golden era. So I was very proud and honored, to see such a people. Thomas Schaff is one of the 5 best coaches ever in Bundesliga history. Then I had a privilege to coach and train and be with the players like Miroslav Klose. He's one of the 3, Beckenbauer, him and Matthäus, 3 the best possible players in the history of German football. He's still currently the FIFA goal scorer of the final World Cups, with the 16 goals. Second on that list is Ronaldo from Brazil, etc. So you see what kind of legend he is. So, and then I was with Mertesacker, now he's played for Arsenal many years. Diego Ribas, 2 times player of Bundesliga, Brazil national team, Fenerbahce, Atletico Madrid, etc. So unbelievable. And I will tell you something which is even stand out even today. They had 27 players under contract. 19 of them from 9 countries were the national players. So you can imagine what kind of richness of the staff were that Xhunejd, because today, so means that you had the 11 players, look at that, plus 8 players from the bench, also the national players. Every club today is struggling about it. Good players, but bench very bad or so on so. So they had such a players. At that time, trust me, Bundesliga was better than English Premier League at that time.
For sure. Yes, on the time, many of the Bundesliga teams that were high competing, even in Champions League. Dear,
Yeah, and then I will be sorry if you say something, or
no,
that I go
continue.
for
You
the
can
secrets.
continue.
Okay, good, no problem. Feel free. Look, when I talk about football, even my wife cannot stop me. So if
No,
you
I
have
know,
something,
I know.
let me know. No problem.
For
We are
sure.
friends.
No,
So
we're passionate for sure. I know that.
now, first time I reveal the secrets in your show after so many years. Okay, and you will see maybe first time in the public
I'm curious,
that
even
I
me,
shared
I want to
this.
learn.
So listen, number one, clear role definition, regardless of status. When I see clear role definition, you will say, hey, come on, Amir. For every club today, professional club has a clear role definition. Yes, you are fullback, you are wing back, you are inverted back, okay? You are front runner as a midfield. You are a police officer as a midfield, okay? You're a creative midfield, okay? You are maybe Salah, who is always coming from outside in, or maybe you are Diaz from other side, Liverpool, who is always in half space, then use the penalty box to finish off, right? But this is something that stands out. Clear role definition, regardless of status. This is something new, even today. What does it mean? Look, for example, Diego. Diego was attacking midfield, creator, brain. So when we have a ball, Werder Bremen, he has a freedom. He was so strong in technically, you do whatever you want. Literally, this was the words from Thomas Schaaf. Many times I had a meeting with the players, I heard that clearly. But when you don't have a ball, okay, you cannot stay up front, okay? That happened Manchester City last year. Many big players, okay, that I'm not mentioning the names, okay, stand forward. And of course, then, no chance